Hi. This is my 1980 Camaro with a 350 small block with 4-bolt main of a 67 pickup truck. Today, I'm going to be adjusting the curve kit in it. Now what that means is inside the distributor, there are springs, and I'm going to change them to a different thickness. So, these are the springs I'm going to be putting in. I can explain more what they do and how they work later on, but to sum them up, there's 3 different types. You got light copper, medium silver, heavy gray. And I'm going to try swapping them to the heaviest ones today, which is the gray ones. And I'll explain more what that does later on when I can show you the inside of the distributor. So, the first step you should do before starting to change your curve kit is disconnect your battery. I luckily have a twist knob here, so it's not that hard for me to do. And the second step you're going to want to do is take off your air filter, as it's just going to be a pain in your ass the entire time you're going to try to work on this. Now, this right here, this is the distributor in my car. If you have a 350, it's going to be exactly the same. If you want to take it off, the first thing I recommend you do is unhook all your spark plug leads from your holder, as that's going to make your life 1,000 times easier. Unless it gets stuck in the oil dipstick. There we go. Now let's go do the other side. Now, your main tool for this job is going to be a flathead screwdriver, like the one shown here. Now, if you look all around the distributor, you're going to see these little pegs right here. Basically, you want to push down and twist. It's like an L-shaped bracket. Now, there's going to be 4 of them on it. Basically, this is what holds your distributor cap onto the actual distributor itself. Now, you're thinking, oh, now since it's completely unhooked, it should be good to just take off the cap, right? Well, unfortunately not. You'll have to unplug your power supply, and you'll also have to take off this piece right here. I'll come back to you once I've done that. So, I've now taken this off. As you can see, it's just 2 side clips on either side. It's just a bit easier to do with one hand, or 2 hands, I mean. So, now you can take off your cap. Oh. I recommend just kind of roll it on its top. And here is the rotor, as you can see right there. So the next step you're going to want to do is take that off. Now, that's just your classic everyday Phillips. There's one there, and one in the back. So, there's the springs you're replacing. Basically, how this works is, this is directly connected to your I don't know what to call it. No. Basically, this is what times your engine. That's what I'm going to call it for now, for simplified reasons. So what happens is this spins around with your engine, and this controls how fast your firing happens with the spark plugs. Because what happens is, this right here has electricity that goes through it, and whenever that end right there brushes up against one of those metal pieces in there, it makes the spark plug fire. Because all the cylinders fire at different times because they're going at different rates. So you don't just have them all firing at once. So that's what this thing does, and that controls when they fire. So what happens when you're spinning, or when you drive, you can't always drive at the exact same timing, otherwise you'd only go a certain speed. So these, they slowly spread out like this, and that advances how fast they fire. So it fires more and more often, which makes you build more and more speed. Now what these springs right here do, is they control how fast it does that and like what speeds it engages. So let's say, for example, you have a thicker spring, kind of like this one right here. It's gonna advance the timing a lot slower. So basically you have a lot slower of an acceleration, but it's going to be more controlled. The lighter of a spring you go, the more power you're going to get, because it's going to advance the timing, causing the car to basically speed up faster. But it's a lot less of a controlled speed up, so that's when you start to wipe out. So I only recommend doing that if you're an experienced driver with muscle cars. And well, I'm replacing those today. So, if you come back to our curve kit right here, those ones that are on there are looking pretty thick. So, let me just empty out the bag. So I'm thinking I'm going to pop in these ones right here. As you can see, they're much smaller spring. And well, we'll see how those do. So, well, you might think also how you can get those springs off. Now, there's many ways you can do it, but I personally like to use pliers. Some people like to use a flathead, but I wouldn't recommend that. It's a lot less controlled and it's a lot easier to go, oh, where the spring go, as it flies off every which way direction. So, if I can find where I put them, you're going to want to grab a pair of needle nose pliers. Or in my case, since I can't find mine, I'm grabbing normal pliers. I would recommend you use needle nose as... There they are. Recommend you grab needle nose, as they're going to be a much more accurate time trying to do this. So what you want to do, see this kind of flat spot right there. Grab it by that, and just unhook it. And there you go, there's your spring. It's off it. And let's do the other one. Grab the flat spot and pull off. So, these are old springs. The goal is to actually swap how big they are, swap to a smaller size, so compared to the new ones. And future reference, these really rusty ones right here are the ones that came with my car. So these are looking like they're basically stock ones. They're not nothing too fancy. Nothing that's going to get you A and B in a fast pace. So, here's the ones that came in my curve kit. As you can see, there's the original. There's the new ones. They're a bit of a smaller diameter and they're much weaker spring. So basically what's going to happen is your car is going to be advancing its timing much faster, because it's take less effort for that to spread the timing thing. So let's put these on. Now, unfortunately, putting them on is not as easy as taking them off. So, what I recommend you do, hook it on the center, like that, and hook on the center like that, and you can grab your pair of pliers, just kind of stretch it out. And haha, there we go. Now it's good to just kind of take your flathead screwdriver, kind of make sure they're well seated in, give her a good push down. Nothing be worse than these babies popping off when you were going down the road, because then your car is going to basically just stall and you're like, oh, why did my car stop? I don't know. It's because you fucked up. So now I have the new ones installed. I'm just gonna make sure none of that blows away, as in case these don't work as well. Because sometimes cars don't like the faster springs. As like I said, they are designed for more performance. And if you like to drive slow highway speeds, sometimes the car is not the biggest fan of that. So, now you have this thing to reinstall. Now let's say you're an idiot and you didn't pay attention. I know for a fact it came off this direction. I just remembered that. But let's say you didn't pay attention. Luckily, these only fit on one way. So you gotta try to put it on backwards, it just doesn't sit. It slides around. If I put it on the right way, clicks. So always make sure it actually clicks in. If it's not clicking in, you're screwing it on the wrong way. Because you can screw it on the opposite side, it just doesn't sit down all the way. And you can go turn your car on, your car is not going to run. Or actually, you can even blow up your engine because it's going to fire the wrong cylinders at the wrong time, which is going to screw up your firing order, which could cause your car to basically catastrophically fail. Now these screws right here, they should be tight, but you shouldn't be ranking on them. There's no reason you need to. They should be basically tight enough that piece starts to move when you twist. You see, like that's moving when I twist it, and it shouldn't have any wiggle to it besides the actual parts. So now it's time to put your cap back on. Slide her over top again. Click her in. It should sit firmly like it should sit firmly like this. It shouldn't have much wiggle to it. You're gonna want to plug in this. Now this only goes in one way again as well, so don't force it in. It should just kind of glide in. And you want to make sure you plug this. You see there's two on the top. There's the bat one and the other one. You want to make sure you plug into the bat. The other one will do you no good. So now that's plugged back in. No idea how good this camera work's going to be. Grab your flat head screwdriver, and these are the exact same as before. You push in and you twist. Except this time, instead of twisting out, you're twisting in. And there's one more on the other side. And then you're gonna put your air filter back in. Now, not all cars are gonna have this, but I'm sure I have to do with my car. See this ring right here? This is what makes the air filter is actually on top of the carburetor. Now, there's a little arm right here that controls my choke. This lip hit the choke, so I have to make sure this arm is in between my yellow lines, as that way the arm misses the lip, and I can actually use my choke. As the choke basically restricts airflow when you first start up your car, so it runs at a higher RPM and heats up faster. It also helps the engine actually catch. Because if your engine doesn't catch, you're going to sit there going, cha-cha-cha-cha-cha, and it's going to keep on stalling. You have to do that a couple times till the engine gets warm enough to actually suck gas under its own proportion. Screw that back on. Make sure you remove all tools from the engine bay, and you can turn back on your battery. See you in a second. Here we are again. Cleaned up all my tools. Double check it to make sure everything was nice and tight. This is back. I'll put the spark plug leads back in their holder later. But for now, you basically just want to make sure none of them are touching the headers like that one. As if they touch the headers, they're going to melt, and then once again, you're not going to be able to drive anywhere. Luckily, I have spare leads in the trunk, but probably not risk it. So, this car is 1980, so basically it's 40 years old flat. Now, because of that, it, needs some extra help when starting up. So, get in your car. You see down here, got your pedals. Just do one pump of gas, and it should start right up. Works like a charm. Now, I'm gonna go take it for a drive and see how well it works. Well, unfortunately my car ran a little bit worse with that new spring. That spring would be a bit better on the highway, but not good for road-to-road kind of high acceleration, so I'll swap back to their spring in a couple minutes, but I'll not be showing you that as I just did all on video. So, have fun.